Oops, hello! Oh, 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 what's happening to me? Hello! Oh, BC face. Why am I so down here? Hello, everybody! Hello, Senti. Hello, Pawn. How are you guys doing? Why am I down? I was not like this, I swear. There we go. And thank you for the host as well. Sorry, let me turn this down. Music loud. Music very loud. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. Saribot should have turned that off. So let me turn it off. Emote only off. Okay. I think that's all that it did. Yeah, I had Saribot set up so that it would do that whenever I'm offline. For some reason, it just did not turn it off. It might be just because, you know, everybody had to reset their Twitch passwords yesterday. So that was great. Good, good. I'm glad you're doing okay. I am very tired today. I don't know why. I think it's been kind of a rainy day today, and sometimes that makes me really, really sleepy. So, like, I just fell asleep for a little bit on accident. I was just hanging out. I told myself I was going to do productive things. I started looking through an old VOD, and then I fell asleep for like an hour and a half. So, that's where I'm at today. I'm still very tired. I just barely woke up like 25 minutes ago. Found someone to do your cloak and V, right? That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Good, good, good. Yeah, I have no idea how to really do that. Oh, I should say at the top of the stream, my blankie, my festive fall time blankie, was made by Alphanyan on Twitter. I have the link. I'm gonna post it in the chat. Yay! Let me just double check to make sure that the chat also isn't on like sub only or something like that. Because I feel like Saribot does more than one thing. And I don't remember what the other one is. So let me open this here. Had to make it, but they're gonna reattach it for me and oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Unity is probably the best way to go with that. You're absolutely right. Let me go. Where? Me? Huh? Let's see. Oh, yep, turn off subscriber only chat. There we go. Okay. Good. So that should be all good on the chat now. Sorry about that. I might just have to reattach Saribot. Now I know that, though. But yes, today we are going back to Stardew Valley, and because I am a sleepo sheepo, it's going to be a very, very chill time. But I did want to ask today's question of the day, since we're partway through fall on the farm, and we might get the rest of the way through the fall season today. I'm not sure. But the question of the day, I'm going to also put it in chat. Hopefully this works. Yes, what is the best fall or Halloween activity? And I will set forth that my answer is... Oh, one second, let me reset my body. My answer would be haunted houses are the best fall/Halloween activity. But I am an absolute sucker for haunted houses. I went on a little bit of a drive yesterday, and I drove past a couple of them, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so ready. I want to go to a haunted house so bad. And there are a lot of really fun ones by me. Pon says napping. You know, I feel that deep in my soul today. And Senti says costumes. Yes, both. Yes, good. Costumes are also great. If that doesn't count, then yes. No, both of those count. Both of those count. Absolutely. No. Yeah, I'm just... while I was driving around yesterday, I was driving forever yesterday because I went somewhere, and then I got trapped there because there was a big crash on the only highway to get out of that area, so I got trapped in a tiny town for a couple hours yesterday. That also might not be helping my general energy, because I had to do a lot of stuff yesterday that just tuckered me out a little bit. But I did pass by a couple haunted houses, and I'm so ready. I was thinking about like, oh man, I should talk to some friends or something and go to a haunted house. Because we have some fun ones around here. We have one that's like outside in the middle of a big forest, and that one's really fun. We have one that's like this building that is there all year round, and they do a couple of other events during the year. But it's so good. I remember one year in the front of their building they had this big headless horseman animatronic that like was on this big horse and it would kick and stuff, and I loved it so much. I was genuinely like, hey, what are you guys doing with that once your season is over? Because if you're not doing anything with that headless horseman, I will gladly take it off your hands. I don't know what I would do it, but I would absolutely take that boy. Just give me the headless horseman and everything will be fine. But I'm weird, and that haunted houses do like genuinely scare me, and I will scream every time that like there's like a jump scare or something, just because I'm easily startled and baby. But I wanted to tell a little bit of a story about one time when I went to a haunted house that I didn't know this, but some of my friends actually worked at. They just didn't tell me. So I had multiple people who all were in costumes, and I couldn't recognize them. One of them especially was in like this crazy like monster makeup, and he got like right in my face and called me by name. It was like, "Hey Sumi, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm sorry. Who are you? Who is this?" And like later, another person who was also a friend of mine was like a victim in like a corn maze area, so she was getting chased, and she like again called me by name and asked me to help her, and I was like, what's happening? This is terrifying. Why is no one else getting called out like this? And then the next day I saw them at school, and they were like, ha 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 ha, we scared you so bad. And it actually took me a second to realize what they were talking about. And I was like, oh wait, that was you guys? I still remember, like, feeling a little bit bad for not going and helping the one person that was calling my name and asking me for help. It was very spooky. It made the haunted house experience much more immersive, I suppose. But also I don't recommend it, because it did scare the heck out of me. I do always also get scared by the people with chainsaws. I'm an absolute baby when it comes to that. For some reason, VC Face doesn't want to recognize that my eyes are open. My eyes are open, I promise you. What's happening? There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and stop the Spotify and head over, and we'll get into some nice, comfy, cozy Stardew Valley. There it is. Okay, game time. I don't really remember where we were in fall. I do remember that we got our goats. I remember one was named Sophie. I don't remember the name of the other one. I feel really, really bad for not remembering the name of my goat's friend, my goat child. We'll go see him again. I'll just remind myself. It's been a second. It's been like a couple weeks, I think. I don't remember. When was the last time we played? Let's see. Oh yeah, no, this doesn't give me the actual date. It just gives me this day. But yeah, we'll probably finish fall today, and we'll go. Yeah, we'll go into the winters. Senti, do you have a favorite haunted house that you've been to? Or like a fun haunted house experience? What are the vibes for today? Excuse me, thank you. Uh-huh. One second, I'm gonna reset VC Face one more time. Oh. Yep, that's me. There we go, okay. Spirits are very happy today, wonderful. That's exactly the kind of stuff I want to hear. Let's go. Let's see what we got. Okay, we don't have any crops. Where's my watering can? I have it in my inventory. Okay, again, I apologize if I do a lot of stupid stuff this stream. I am so tired. I do not know why I cannot shake my tiredness. That's okay. We'll all be good. We might buy some more aminals today as well, because I can. I've only been to one multiple times, rated one of the best in America. Oh, that's cool. Is it one of the ones where they can, like, where you can have the option for people to touch you? I'm not the biggest fan of those. They tend to be very, very good, but also, no, it scares me. Don't touch me. They're like the really intense haunted houses that like actually do bad stuff to people that I'm like, I kind of get going to those because you want the experience, but also, no thank you, I'm okay, I think. Oh. Oh, did I forget to water that one? Is that one dead now? It's okay. All these crops are going to be suffering here in a little bit because we're going to just be going over into winter, and that's not a good time for plants, really. We'll see about maybe, I don't know, customizing the farm a little bit more when there aren't as many crops that I have to take care of. I think you're dead, but sorry. Oh, I forgot we got little Solomon! Though someone grabbed my ass in here. Oh no! That's awful. I'm sorry. God, for some reason, that reminded me of when I was in school. We went to like a murder mystery dinner thing, and our entire school got banned from ever going back to that place because one of the girls in our group grabbed one of the actresses' butts, and it was like, oh great, wonderful, way to ruin it for everybody. You're an idiot. They're only supposed to touch you with the chainsaws? I know that like haunted house chainsaws don't have chains on them. Please just water this one. Please just put this one, water it. Thank you. And I know they don't have chains on them and stuff, but they scare me. The loud noise, I don't like it. Oh, good, huh? Of course, thank you, yay! All right. Got those guys right there. Give Eddie some water. There we go. All right, let's go check on the babies. Hi, Solomon. Oh, and how are you, Jonathan? 3? You scared off 3 crows, yay! Oh no, so that's Jonathan Prime, Jonathan 2, Jonathan... Oh, you're Jonathan 4, sorry! 5, good job. They like lightly tap you on... It still is spooky. Scary. Oh, excuse... Hi. Hello. Hi, Henry. I'm Benry. I'm glad you guys are happy, but let me close the gate. Ooh, big eggies, thank you. Thank you for egg. There we go. Wonderful, wonderful. Get them. Boop, boop. And put those back in there. Yay. They scare me. The sound is very, very loud. I did have one person who was a jerk that I went to a haunted house with one time, and I told him like beforehand that I really like I am not a fan of the chainsaw people. It'll always like scare me. At the end of that, sorry, I got really excited about the ghosts. Hi, okay, Sophie. Hello, Sophie. Hello, Rumbus. Hello, what's your name? Lizzie. Oh yeah, because we were talking about Lizzie Borden. That's right. Hi, Liz. Okay, and hi, Eugenie. I also love you. Hi. Okay. Alright. You guys got some hay, but I will give you some more. Because I am forgetful, so I might as well just do it now while I'm thinking about it. Boop, boop. If we ever go to a hunt. Thank you, Senti. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, so I was saying that guy... Oh, did I grab the pail? I did. That guy, there was a room at the very, very end. Let's see, can I milk you? Yay! Thank you, Lizzie and Sophie. But, at the very, very end, there was, like, this ramp that led to the exit that, at the very, very bottom of the ramp was a chainsaw dude. And the guy, this guy who I will say friend very, very loosely, he when I like jumped because I was scared of the chainsaw noise, he like grabbed me like as I was mid-air and pushed me forward and then ran out behind me. So he like sacrificed me to the chainsaw man, which was a major asshole move. Never been to a haunted house, but I watched a YouTuber who works at them, and she told a story about how she had a chainsaw as a prop for one, but she was too weak to start it on her own, so whenever she had to have someone else start it for her whenever it was her. Oh, yeah, those things are heavy, and they are a little bit hard to start. Like I sometimes have issues starting like lawnmowers. I haven't had a lawn in quite some time, so I actually haven't started a lawnmower in quite some time. But when I did, I always had problems with it. Yeah, it's okay. I've realized in retrospect that that person sucked very much, but it's okay. Oh, wait. Did one of the cows give me a large milk? Oh. I thought that wasn't that something that the kidnappers wanted? No? Oh, large goat milk. Oh, I've already given them that one. Okay. And then we'll... I see. I kind of want to buy more animals, guys. Maybe a little bit later. Let's go. Oh, it's already 2 p.m. How did this happen? That is my vibe for today, though, is like when I woke up and it was, 5:30. I was like, oh, and when did this happen? How did this happen? Let's go put bait in the crab traps. Hi, Harvey. Would you like an egg? Yay! He would. Okay. How are you? I feel yeah. Fortunate to be able to build a good relationship. Yeah. You're doing great, Harvey. I believe in you. Okay, bye. Okay. Okay. Lobster? Lobster! Put those in there. Egg. May I offer you... Oh, I didn't want to give you that! Abigail! Abigail, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get this muscle and what can you... Please. Abigail! I'm sorry. I made a mistake, Abigail. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to put bait in the crab trap. Okay. Can I please? Can you... I guess I'll just talk to you. How are you doing? I need to stretch my legs and get some fresh air today. Yeah, that's good. Exercise is good. I'm gonna take this, actually. I'm gonna put it over here. Since you're just vibing over here, apparently, and I can't move you. I'm just gonna put it there. She isn't even grateful. How rude. It was an accident. To be fair, I would not, because if I remember correctly, the fish bait is like partially bug meat. I wouldn't be super happy if someone came up to me on a pier and just handed me a handful of chopped up bug meat. I wouldn't particularly enjoy that. Anything over here? This looks like a hole. This looks like a thing I should be able to go into, but I know that that's where that guy that tells me I'm not ready stands. Hard earned. That's true, but still, I personally would not want it. So, like, I'm not mad at Abigail for being like, I'm sorry, what are you doing? Let's see, do I have anything that the kidnappers want? Nope. Nope. Okay, all of this is gonna go get sold then, I suppose. Crumpy, squishy, bug me. Ew! That's awful. I hate it. Let's see. Oh! Oh, yeah! I remember I did that. I acquire rare, dangerous, prismatic slime within the local caves. Bring me a jar. Ooh, you know what I should do? Because the spirits are in a very good mood today, so I should just, let's go do the... Oh. Oh, hell. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh no! Penny! Penny! Oh, Carolyn wants a pumpkin? Okay. Penny! Penny! You want a copper... Penny wants a copper bar. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Penny wants a copper bar. Copper bar. I'm not gonna get distracted. I'm gonna go give that to Penny so that she's happy with me. I'm gonna do it. And then I'm also gonna go to the mines. I'm just gonna go toss all this stuff in the box, and then we're gonna go to give Penny a copper bar, and then we're gonna go to maybe the mines if we have time, because it takes forever to do things. But I would like to make Penny happy. Please, thank you. She deserves it. Penny gonna turn himself into an actual Penny. I mean, I'm not... Who am I to question what she wants these for? Oh, I don't want any of this. Okay. First of all, let me put some stuff in here. So, you goodbye. You goodbye. You goodbye. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. 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 Thank you. Whoa. This one... Okay, so this one we got that, and then we got that, and we got that, and we got... Oh, okay. And I got a whole bomb, and I got some torches. Okay, oh yes, yes, yes. The kidnappers want... They wanted like 99 slime, if I remember correctly. Got copper for Penny. I don't need you, and I don't need you. And I don't need you. Okay. Okay. I still just have the purple shorts, I guess. Alright. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I think that's everything that I need. Yes. Okay. Penny! Penny, where are you? Are you at home? Penny. Penny. Penny, Penny, Penny. I have a thing for you. And then I'm gonna go, you know, risk my life in the caves and stuff, but I'll be fine. Penny. Where do you go at 7 p.m., Penny? I don't know your schedule. Outside of you, like, walking the kids home at, like, 5. Penny. Please be home. Penny! 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 I brought you something. Penny? Penny. Oh, no! Penny. Penny, 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 no, go! Why are you asleep at 7:30 p.m.? Who goes to sleep at 7:30? Penny! Ah! Penny! Okay. I'm sorry, I tried. No one can say that I didn't try to give that to her, okay? Go to the mines. We'll be fine. I'm sorry, Penny. I did my best. Could have maybe walked a more efficient way, but that's fine. Okay, okay, okay. We are not going to be able to do very much in the mines, but might as well. Why not? See where you can get. It's fun. It's a good time. Okie dokie. Let's see. How far did I get last time? Ooh, 45. Wow. Got very far. Bonk. Ah! No. No. Hey. Hey, stop following me. I don't have a whole lot of time, friend. Got stuff to do. Whoa. Oh. I'm poisoned? I'm poisoned? Okay. Okay, this is already not going very well for me. Hi, how are you? What was it? What was it that Wizard Man wanted? Prismatic something or other. What did you want? Prismatic jelly. I require slay prismatic slime. Okay. I don't even know what that is, but I'll do my best. Oh, I'm gonna, like, immediately have to leave. It's already 10. I goofed. I goofed. Oh, hi, everybody. Hi, please don't do that. Dwarf